Is it clear how I got to that answer? I basically recognize what this information means. It means PM, it means capital intensity ratio. And then I knew from Baby DuPont, I could write return on equity as profit margin times TAT. The rest is just letting OneNote do the arithmetic for you. I didn't even have to use Excel for that. It's also a nice little fancy calculator. Okay. Now, the names on these open-ended stuff, I take them from mythologies and stuff. I think chapter 3 is about Mesopotamia. The Sumerians and Akkadians, I believe, which existed even before the Egyptians. You guys remember the Hammurabi, the first lawgiver? It was a king of the Sumerians. These are the guys who came up with cuneiform writing, those little scratches on clay tablets. Okay, we know their cash, we know their accounts receivable, inventory, and net working capital. What's the cash ratio? Well, cash ratio is simple. Cash over current liabilities, okay? Okay. Always write the definition first. Do we know cash? Yes. The only thing we don't know is current liabilities. Well, how can I figure that out? What piece of information over here has current liabilities in its definition? Obviously, it's not cash, it's not accounts receivable, it's not inventory, it's net working capital, okay? Net working capital is, by definition, is current assets minus current liabilities, which implies current liabilities is equal to, that's my mental arithmetic, current assets minus net working capital. I already know net working capital. All I have to do is figure out what current assets are. Well, in this case, current assets are cash plus accounts receivable plus inventory in this problem. Since we don't have other current assets kind of stuff. So that's current assets. And current liabilities is minus which cash ratio is, cash is 1700 divided by current liabilities of 6500, 2650. Remember, key was to recognize what we didn't know and how could we get that information. We have, I think, 4 more problems, and I'll send you guys home. We know net income, we know total assets, dividend payout ratio, what's the internal growth rate. This should not be difficult for you guys, so somebody calculate it for me, please. I would view this question as a giveaway on a quiz with no time limit at home. By the way, if you start one of these quizzes, do 5 questions, come back 2 nights later, you can't do that. You don't have to finish it once you start it. But if you start it a minute before the deadline, you can finish it. But if you don't finish it, you can't come back to it. Anyone? Of course, if this was a all finance majors class, I actually would show you how to write VBA functions for these. Let me give you an example while you're doing that. Let's see. I'm going to write it here, or I'm going to do a new sheet. Function Once you have that, not UIGR. Let me make sure I get that correctly. So in this problem, 59, 416.6. Then Excel will do the arithmetic for you, as long as you have the right inputs. That's the beauty of Excel stuff. And I have students who actually used to complain that I taught this stuff. This was way back 10 plus years ago. I've been here 18 years now. And one of those students saw me the other day. She was getting out of Lowe's and I was getting cigarettes from Murphy's. And she also remembered that there was an earthquake in Turkey. She first asked about that, then she sent another text or messenger, and here's exactly what she said. Glad your loved ones were spared, yada, yada, yada. Hope you are well. I still look like a rock star constantly with all the Excel skills, including macros that you taught me in your classes. These were just basic stuff. I didn't teach any complicated programming or anything. As soon as you know some of that stuff, you become at the top 5 at the worst percent, probably at the top 1 or 2% of your workforce. It's that simple. Remember, you're not going to compete against Harvard people anyway, so you're going to compete against people from Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, what have you, not to Ivy League schools. And those guys don't want to learn those skills, don't learn those skills. Some people don't even teach those skills. I mean, I know we are required to teach Excel skills in this class. I know from my upper level finance classes who didn't take Business 302 from me, they just still use financial calculators, which is almost 19th century technology. With electronics, it was 20th century, but you have a fancy calculator here. Now I just made a function for internal growth rate. All I have to do is enter the inputs. Okay? Again, I'm not going to teach that sort of stuff in this class, but it made my life so easy. All I had to know is that function. That's it. If you have more complicated stuff, similarly. And here's an example. In option pricing, we have a formula, something like this. Let's say put option price. I mean, it's horrible, okay? And this N thing is sort of a normal distribution. You can have all of that in Excel. Alternatively, I think I already have a function. Let's see. I don't know if I put this on my personal. No, it's not here. Okay. I have a function. We actually written it down. It calculates value of a European sized call option. All you have to do is enter the inputs. It's kind of a black box, but and the formula for that was code for that was relatively easy. That was it.